Alright, hey guys, She Detector here. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I've done before. Actually, it's going to be a lot of it different. So today's video is going to be how to travel with a metal detector. And not just any kind of travel, specifically on an airplane. So I'm going to be going on a trip. Now it's for work, but I figured it's a perfect time for me to test out how to travel with a metal detector and have to go through TSA. So I'm going to be taking two machines with me. I'm going to check one in my checked luggage, and then I'm going to take one in my carry-on and see how the whole process is and give you guys some tips to use if you're going to be traveling with your metal detector. So I'm going to get right into it and show you guys the first machine that I'm going to be taking. I'm going to show it in kind of two parts. I'm going to show you guys my checked bag first, the machine that's going to go in there, and then I'll show you guys my carry-on bag and the machine that's going to go in there. So let's get right into the checked bag machine. Alright, so this is the GoFind 20. In case you couldn't tell from the box, this is the Minelab GoFind 20. So this is the machine that I'm going to be putting in my checked bag. Now, this is a very tiny machine. If you've never seen one before, they are collapsible, and this is the entire machine right here. It's completely put together. All I have to do is, open it up. So it's got two little buttons here on either side that you push in, and then you pull up this your monitor right here, and it'll snap into place. See, all snapped in. Same thing to fold it down, and it'll snap back down. And then to pull the coil out, you've got a little lever here, and this will extend it, and then you can make your adjustments for the coil and all of that good stuff. So this is the book that comes with it. And like I said before, this is the machine that I'm going to be putting in my checked bag. So now this is on loan to me from Calico. So thank you, Calico, for letting me take this GoFind 20 on a little traveling trip. Big thanks. They are a huge sponsor of mine, and I'm very, very appreciative of them. So thank you again. And so I'm not going to take it in the box. This is the box, obviously, that it came in. Now it does have some cardboard in there to hold it still, but I wanted to really save on space, so I'm not going to be taking the box with me, so that'll stay. But I will be taking the book with me, and my plan is I'm going to put the book right on top of the detector in my bag, so when TSA goes through my bag, which I'm sure they will, they'll see this here, and maybe they'll look at it and be like, okay, yeah, it's definitely a metal detector. It's nothing that we need to be concerned about. So I am going to take the book with me, and you can see over here I have a couple of other things. Let me turn the camera a bit. So these are the other items that I'm going to be taking with me on the plane. Now I've got both of my pinpointers. I've got LC and Seeker out here. And I'm going to be taking both, and the reason is because I'm going to put one in my check bag and I'm going to carry one in my carry-on. Again, I really want to see, how TSA handles metal detectors and pinpointers. So yeah, I'm going to take both of them. I'm going to be taking my digger shovel here, but I'm going to be putting this in my checked bag. I'm very positive they will not let me put it in my carry-on, so it will be in my checked bag. And I'm going to be taking my Myers pouch. I'm not taking my big one because, this is a lot smaller. So I'm going to take this. I've got extra batteries for my pinpointers. I've got my digging gloves, and I've got headphones for the GoFind. So all of this is going to be going with me, but again, I'm going to take one of the pinpointers in my carry-on. So I'm going to take my Garrett in my carry-on, and one of the reasons why I'm choosing Garrett is, well, one, it's smaller, so it's a little bit shorter. It's maybe about an inch shorter, so it's a little bit smaller, but also a lot, if not all, of the TSA security checkpoints that I've been through, they use the Garrett metal detecting wands. So when they see this in my bag, one, I'll tell them it's a metal detector, it's a pinpointer, and they'll see the name Garrett, and I'll just, kind of point out, it's the same brand as your metal detecting wand. This way it'll just, help a little bit more for them to realize it's a metal detector and not anything dangerous. So I'm going to put this over here because that's my carry-on. So all of this here is going to go in my checked bag. So, and I'm going to put all of this stuff in Walmart bags because, my gloves still do have like little bits of sand and grit, and I don't want it getting on my clothes in my bag. So I'm going to be putting all of this in a Walmart bag, and then I'm going to put it in here. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll come over to my suitcase and pack up the actual metal detector and all of my gear. Okay, so I've got everything in the Walmart bag. This is the last thing to go in there. I put my shovel inside my digger pouch to keep it from puncturing out through the Walmart bag. So it's inside one of the pockets here. So that'll keep it, secure, and it'll protect my Walmart bag so that I don't end up having all of that dirt and stuff come out. So I'm not going to tie it up. I'm just going to wrap it up because, again, I'm sure TSA is going to go through it, and I don't want to make it super difficult for them to get into it. So this is it. Okay, so let's come over to my suitcase, and this is my suitcase. Now this is big. It is within, the standard checked bag size and such, but it is big, and I'm going to have extra space in it. But I didn't want to put the detector in a soft-sided bag. This is a hard bag, so it's hard, it doesn't give, it's very strong, so I'm not worried about the detector getting damaged. So we're going to put my gear in here. Now it's just tucked in the side, and I put my pajama pants here so that I can put the detector on it to keep the detector from being on my clothes. So yeah, so those are my pajama pants. So here's the detector. And it fits perfectly in my bag with a couple of inches on either side for it to still, if it needed more space. So I'm just going to try and figure out the best place or position to put the detector so that it's not going to jostle around too much. So I think I'm going to put it sideways. And I do have these straps that I'll be able to strap down. They go across and make an X to keep everything a little bit more secure. But you see how much extra space I have in here. So, yeah. So here's the book. I'm just going to tuck that. Maybe I'll tuck it right in here. And I hope you guys can see that. Yeah. All right, good. I'm just going to tuck it right in here. And I have my 2 extra little batteries. So I'm going to put these, there's a little zipper pouch on this side. I'm going to put those over there, and they are allowed to go on the airplane. I did check. They're not, super scary, the lithium batteries or whatever. So those are good. I've got my headphones. These, they can just go wherever. These are some cheapy old headphones from Walmart. Just put those there. Actually, I might put them under my pajama pants to keep them from moving all around. So I'll put that there. I've got my hat already. I'm going to be taking, obviously, my GoPro, which is currently filming, and all of my little accessories. But pretty much this is it. The last thing that I need to put in here is my hygiene bag, and it's going to have, like my toothpaste, toothbrush, hairbrush, all of that stuff. And there's still plenty of space for me to put it in here. So I'm not worried about that at all. But this is it. This is my bag. Let me see if I can't get a little bit closer and show you guys. There. So this is it. There's still a lot of space. And so I can kind of use my hand on top of my pajama pants. I've got almost an entire hand's worth of space still left. So like I said, there is a lot of extra space, but I didn't want to take a soft-sided bag. Again, because this is from Calico, I wanted to make sure that the machine's going to be protected, and the suitcase will definitely do that. So now, the other machine that I'm taking is this is my Fisher F19. And in case you guys haven't seen it before, that's what that is. Now this is the machine that I'm going to be taking in my carry-on bag. Now you might be thinking, okay, why wouldn't you put the little machine in your carry-on and the big one in this bag? So the reason is this GoFind is less than, I think, $150 versus my Fisher F19 is a couple of $100, and I want to say it's between $700 and $900 maybe. I don't quite remember, but I would rather have this on me so that I know it's not going to get lost or damaged than put it in my suitcase and have it come up missing or missing. So yeah, so you know, if the GoFind gets stolen or damaged, I can easily pay Calico back for that, versus if my F19 gets stolen or damaged, that's going to cost a whole lot more. So that's going to go with me in my carry-on. So that's pretty much it for the checked bag machine. So I'm going to go ahead and finish packing this up. I'm going to put, so like I said, I still have to put my hygiene kit in here. And then the very last thing is I have my bag from work, because I am going on this trip for work. I have my work bag that I'm going to put on top of that, but that's still at the office, and I will put it in before I head to the airport from work. So this is pretty much it. So the next time you guys see this bag will be when I open it up at the hotel to see how everything made it through the trip. So yeah, fingers crossed, everything makes it to the hotel just fine. So let's go ahead and move to the carry-on bag and that machine. Okay, so here is the F19 that I'm going to be taking in my carry-on bag. My carry-on bag is a JanSport backpack, and it has essentially the full zipper where I can completely open it up and I can, you know, stuff it full of whatever I need to put in there. So obviously the F19 is way too big for me to put it in like this. So I will be breaking it down, and I believe all the pieces will fit in this backpack with no problem. The only thing that I am a little bit concerned about is the S curve up here, this section. But again, I'm going to take it completely apart, so it should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and disassemble it, and then we'll come back once I do that. But first, the F19, it does have a couple of screws that mount the box to the shaft, and then also the cuff up here, there is one screw in the cuff. So I will be taking a screwdriver in my carry-on. Now you might be thinking, okay, TSA is definitely not going to let you do that, but I checked their website, and you can take screwdrivers, pliers, and I forget, there was one other thing listed in the screwdriver category that it said anything under 7 inches you can take. And I measured this little guy. He is 4.5 inches from end to end. So this is acceptable to have in my carry-on according to the TSA website. So this is a Phillips head, and this is all that I need to take apart and then put back together my F19. So I'm going to go ahead and take it apart, and then I'll come back and we'll put it in my carry-on. Alright, so this is the F19 completely taken apart. This is about as far down as you're going to get it. The only thing that I could still do is the cuff right here. These two sections, I don't know if you can really see, but there's a little split right down the middle right here where you can actually take these apart. But I have the padding on here, and it's like a sticky back adhesive, so that is keeping this together. I could cut this down the middle if I really wanted to take it apart. I kept the bolt in there to keep it together, but if I wanted to completely take these apart, I could just cut this down the middle and then I could take it apart. But it's not that big of a deal to me. It's still pretty small. So this is everything. Here's the little bitty screwdriver that I'm going to take, and also here is my pin pointer. This is Seeker, in case you didn't know. And this is the bag that I'm going to be putting everything in. So let's go ahead and start putting it in there. Now, I will be taking my laptop with me because I'm going to be editing this video while I'm in the hotel. So I will have my laptop in here first, along with the charging cable, But then in goes the metal detector. So this is the bottom shaft of the F19 shaft, and this is a little bit longer than this black backing here, which means I'll either have it sticking up a little bit or sticking down a little bit. It's not going to fit perfect. I mean, I could probably even cake it off to the side and it'll be all right. But, you know, I won't be able to obviously bend my backpack that way, which isn't a big deal, whatever. The laptop's going to be in there anyways, so I don't really mind too much. So these are all of the shaft pieces here. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to put it. And these two are about the same length, actually. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I changed the view of the camera so it wasn't so wide so you could see it a little bit closer. But these are about the same length when you put it, you know, from end to end. So I'll just put these guys in here at an angle, and I think that'll be all right. And then for the coil cable, these little... This, I hope you can see it. I know it's black on black, but this is the cable tie. This and this are the cable ties that I used to keep the cable on the shaft. So I used it, one over here to keep this bundled up, and then another over here to keep it bundled up. But I put the screw back here into the part that connects this, the coil to the shaft. I used the cable tie to attach the cable to that little screw just to keep it kind of still instead of flopping all over the place. So that's secured right there. So just really put this anywhere. Here's the box. I put the two screws here on the bottom. These are the screws that secure it onto the shaft. And this is the whole box right here. So that can go right in there. Here's the cuff can go. I mean, really, there's tons of space, so I'm just kind of putting it wherever. I've got my pin pointer, we'll put it here on the side, and then my screwdriver right there. I mean, this is everything. So we'll go ahead and close it up, and then you guys can see. I mean, it fits perfect. I mean, it's kind of, you know, difficult to tell, whatever, but I mean, it fits in there perfect, and there's still a ton of space left over, which is good because, like I said, I'm going to be putting my laptop in here. So yeah, so I'm going to open it back up so I can put my laptop in, but I just wanted to show you guys that you can fit the entire machine in here, no problem. Now obviously you're not going to be able to do this with like an Excalibur. If you have the aftermarket straight shaft, the long carbon fiber one, obviously, because those don't break down, so you won't be able to do this. And there are a couple of other, you know, honestly, I don't know that the Excalibur, if the stock shaft will even fit in here, because I don't think it breaks down far enough to fit it in a backpack. But I'm not positive, I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've looked at the stock shaft. But yeah, so this is it. So the next thing that you guys are going to see is me actually going through TSA. I will be recording me checking my bag, the other bag, and I will be recording me taking this through the TSA security line. My plan is to turn the GoPro on, and I will have to put it in the security bin so that it can go through the x-ray scanner, but I'm going to leave it on while it's going through, and then I know TSA is going to flag me and pull me out of the lines because they're going to want to inspect my backpack, which is fine. I'm going to try to keep the camera rolling the entire time. Obviously, if one of them tells me to turn it off, then I'm going to have to turn it off, but I will do my very best to keep it rolling the entire time until I get to my gate, and, you know, then we'll be good from there. So hopefully the next thing you guys will see is the whole TSA security process. So, all right, let's head to the airport. All right, guys, so I just parked, and now we're going to head into the airport and make our way to security.
to ensure the same level of screening, you will conduct the background. The background will cover sensitive areas, including the occupied flat areas. You okay with these?
I have a metal detector in here.
Metal detector, really?
do.
Okay. Do you have any lotions, liquid gels, paste, or aerosols?
Only in here I have some hand
Oh,
sanitizer.
wait a minute. You got a laptop there.
Oh, yeah.
Itself over here.
Okay.
That way you put everything else in there. There you go.
I just have 1 fluid ounce of
Not a
hand
worry.
sanitizer.
Are you wearing a belt or do you have anything in pocket? Okay. Please stay here for a few moments. I need you to see your valuables actually make it through the X-ray
okay.
curtain. There.
Probably got another hour or so.
If it's when? 3:30?
3:45. 12:45, 3:45.
So that judges, in fact, we have to judge how close the day is by the
Oh, you got like an hour and 45. Go 5:30. Hey, Zach, do it.
Sorry. Hey guys, I made it through with no issues. So I made it to my hotel room. I am here in Birmingham, Alabama. Roll Tide. And I had 0 issues at the airport. None. Not even a little teeny tiny bit. None. So when I went through with my carry-on, I put it in the bin, and there was kind of a backup, so the guy was kind of just standing there, and I told him, I said, I have a metal detector in my bag. And he said, a metal detector, huh? I said, yep. And that was the end of our conversation. That was it. So my stuff went through, and I was trying to watch them because I had to go through the body scanner. All of us were going through. And I was watching them as my stuff was going through, and nobody did anything. There wasn't anything that let me know that there was any kind of concern or alarm, nothing. So that went through just fine. About an hour before I left for the airport, though, I Googled, or I looked at the TSA website, can I take a metal detector in my carry-on? And if you look at the TSA website, tsa.gov, it'll say no for your carry-on, and then it'll say contact your airlines for your checked bag. So when I saw, and it's in big red letters, no metal detector in a carry-on. But then right underneath it, it says, due to space limitations, metal detectors should be checked, not put in your carry-on, because they won't fit in the overhead bin. So So I was like, well, I get it. No, because they are, you know, pretty large. They can be not so much large, but long, and it would take up a lot of space. But I was thinking, well, I broke mine apart. It's, you know, it fits in a regular school backpack. So I sent a message on Facebook Messenger to, I think it's Ask TSA, and I, you know, laid it out. I said, hey, I'm taking a metal detector. I want to take it in my carry-on. I broke it down so it fits in a standard school size backpack, but your website says no. Can I take it on? And they came back and they said, yes, no problem. You can take a metal detector in your carry-on. So yeah, so there you go. For anybody that's looking at traveling with their metal detector in your carry-on, it's definitely doable if you can fit it in like a backpack. If you have to break it down, you're not going to be able to have it in its full size. The only downside with that is your digging equipment. So regardless if you're going to be digging in dirt or on the beach, you're going to need something to dig with. None of those things, I don't think, you would be able to put in your carry-on. You're not going to be able, like my serrated shovel, there's no way that would have passed in my carry-on. No way at all. One, it's serrated and it's metal. Two, it's longer than 7 inches. So when I had mentioned earlier in the video, you can take a screwdriver, pliers, or a wrench under 7 inches in your carry-on. My shovel is bigger than that. Probably everybody's is. I mean, most of y'all are men, and your hands and stuff are bigger than mine, so I mean, you're going to be using a shovel that's or a digging tool well over 7 inches. Same thing with a beach. Your scoop, I don't know that TSA would allow you to take a scoop in your carry-on. And even if you could, it's going to have to be very small for you to fit it in your carry-on. So you're going to have a problem there. Now, if you're digging in dirt and on land, what you could do is just buy a couple $1 shovel or, you know, like a trowel when you get to wherever you're going, and then you'll just have to leave it behind when you fly back out. I mean, it's probably your only option of, you know, getting your digging equipment when you get to your destination, unless you take a checked bag. So let's move on to check bags. So my suitcase is sitting over there. I've not opened it yet because I wanted you guys to see exactly what I see when I open it. So we're going to head over and open it, and we'll see what everything looks like. So let me find the zippers. Now this is the first time I've opened it. So I put it in the rental car, out of the rental car, up here, and I laid it down. So I'm gonna open it and we'll see what we see. Let me first make sure there's nothing inappropriate. Okay, so here is my bag. So already I know that there was somebody in my bag because this is undone. Now it could have come undone. Yes, it could have, just from the stuff inside my bag pulling at it, because I think if I pull this hard enough it'll come out. But someone could have gone through here, which I was completely expecting. So we'll go ahead and open this. This is the bag that I was telling you guys about, my work bag. So I put that in. There we go. And then here is the bag that I put in with all of my toiletries. And then here's my like shampoo and stuff so it didn't spill out. And then right here, so we'll go ahead and take that out. Go ahead and get my bag out of here. We'll move this bag. There you go. And there's the GoFind. Perfect. I mean, the book is still tucked right in here. And here's the machine. It looks just fine. I don't even know if anybody opened it. There's really no way for me to tell. But it fit perfectly in here, no issues. I don't see any damage. Granted, I won't know until I turn it on. But overall, the whole point of this video was to show you guys how to travel with a metal detector, be it in your carry-on or your check bag. So I didn't have any issues. Granted, I flew from Tampa International into Birmingham, Alabama International. I believe it's International. you could have a different experience at your airport, be it in a different state, different city, and possibly even in a different country. I don't know if the TSA is going to, you know, be the same way in every city. I doubt it, honestly. But, I mean, if you know, do your research, check with your airline, because again, on the TSA website, it says specifically for metal detectors that are checked, check with your airline. You know, do your due diligence. Call, find out, ask questions, do whatever you need to do to make sure you'll be able to travel with your gear. Again, the actual digging gear, if you're not taking a check bag, that will be an issue. So keep that in mind. But overall, it was an alright experience. I was really surprised I didn't get pulled for extra security when I was going through the scanning and all that. I was very surprised. But I'm okay. I got there early and it was fine. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave them in the comment section down below. You can reach out to me also on Facebook, and I didn't take any pictures of today's video. I would have posted them on Instagram, but I'll see if I can't catch a screenshot or a thumbnail or something and put that out on my Instagram. And make sure to check me out on my Instagram. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure to hit it with a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so by hitting the subscribe button located just under here somewhere. And until next time, I guess I will see you guys later.